Peace, the conscious one. And I gotta shoot this video one more time. First time I shot it, I ain't have enough space on my computer to save it. So a whole hour and a half, I actually basically just rehearsed to do it again. All right. So I wanted to just get it out because sometimes I be having a time to do these videos, and sometimes I don't, and then sometimes I forget what I was gonna put in. But this time I actually wrote some things down, so I'm actually going to give you some information from anthropologists, as well as explorers, as well as some DNA information. Alright, so my whole thing is, me being a conscious one, is this, right? I'm just trying to let people know that the Aborigines in North America are Negroes. Okay, they are not Mongoloids. All of the Northeast, Southeast tribes was Negroes. Alright, so this is what I want people to get into their head. Okay, understand, when they came here in the 1500s, they already had slaves at that time. They was already shipping Indians out. They were shipping so-called black Indians to Europe, Africa, and to the Caribbean. And the ones that stayed here, with the numbers of the ones that stayed here, all right? So just to give you guys an idea, right? I'm going to resort back to this. A couple of different articles just to give you guys some information, all right? So, take a look inside. Guys, right here, yeah. Say many thousand years before Christopher Columbus' ship landed in Bahamas, a different group of people discovered America. The nomadic ancestors of modern Native Americans who hiked over a land bridge from Asia to what is now Alaska more than 12,000 years ago. Now this is what they tell you, okay? But Natasha is going to tell you something different. In fact, by the time the European adventurers arrived in the 15th century AD, remember, most of them arrived in 15th century AD, alright? They say scholars estimate that more than 50 million people were already living in America, alright? So that's just to give you guys an understanding. Okay, it say of these, some 10 million live in the area that would become the United States. Now this is what they tell you, alright? So now, this is what Smithsonian Institute tells you about the people who they describe being in this area. You know, this is from the article. I'm going to leave this up here because this is a source. Okay, this is a source. Alright? You know what the article is? From the brother NY Supreme. It say DNA, 12,000 years old, 12,000 year old skeleton help answer the question, who was the first Americans? Alright? First meaning Aboriginal. Alright, so we read, so give you guys an understanding for people who probably first time coming to my channel or whatever. I'm not Dr. Seuss. I'm just a brother who happened to be smart enough to put this information together. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so they give it a description of what they say the two phenotypical groups of what so-called Native Americans look like. Say, but therein lies a puzzle. Modern Native Americans closely resemble people in China, Korea, and Japan. The oldest American skeletons do not. Okay, you'll understand that. Says anthropologist, paleontologist James Chatham. That's one of the anthropologists that I'm telling you now. I'm not an anthropologist, but he is. And he's telling you the oldest skeletons do not belong to the ones that they call Native Americans. Lead study, we already went that to apply paleoscience. You can read this, alright, but now let's go here. It say the small number of early American specimens discovered so far to have smaller and shorter faces, longer and narrower skulls than Native Americans, and more closely resembling the people of modern Africa, Australia, and South Pacific. Alright, and it's telling you African, Australian, South Pacific, and throughout you're going to hear either of them two. It's going to be either Africa or South Pacific. Some people are going to say Australia too. So it's going to say that the skeleton remains they found here look like either Africans or South Pacific. This has led to speculations to perhaps the first Americans. So they distinguishing that the first Americans are not Native Americans. That's why the Native Americans are not Aborigine. Came from different homelands. Chatter continues. Or migrated from Asia at different stages. All right, so this is one. He's talking about Naia. Okay, all right. This is what Naia looks like. Okay, this is another article. It says Naia reborn. See the surprising face. Now, why would it surprise you? The surprising face of the first American. They thumbing their nose at you. All right. But just to give you a touch up on, well, actually, I already read this. I just want to give you another article where it's giving you a description of what he said. What he said she looked like. All right. Matter of fact, the one I'm going to read. It say researchers has created facial reconstruction of a teenage girl who lived 12,000, 13,000 years ago in Mexico, Yucatan Peninsula. The scope visage suggests that the first Americans did not look much like Native Americans. A second source saying that it say even through genetic evidence confirms that the common ancestry reconstruction draws up of the works of James Chatter. It's applied paleo and sculptor Todd McClellan. And it's featured in January's issue of National Geographic. So they're telling you that this is the National Geographic. All right, researchers of the artist has reconstructed the face of a teenage girl lived 12,000 years ago in Mexico, and is not the kind of face a person might typically associate with Native American. The remains of the girl nicknamed Naia after the Greek water term for nymph were recovered from the underground cave. We already talked about that. Naia is regarded as one of the earliest known residents of the Americas, but her skull has a shape associated with Africans and South Pacific population rather than the typical Siberian look. Okay? Keep that in mind. Let's go to another article. Okay? And this is the DNA explained genetic genealogic, whatever, genealogic, whatever. All right, you guys already know. Y'all know what it means, okay? That's telling you the same thing. Naia, it's another article. It's basically saying pretty much what the same thing we went over. Right here is giving you the description of what they say again. It say one of the unexpected findings was how different Naia looks than what we would have expected based on what native people look like today. So it's saying look like today. Well, how did they look before? It say she has more African and Polynesian facial structures than later native people. She was much smaller. It say, all right, so basically that tells you. So it say she had more African and Polynesian, okay? We're going to look at the Polynesian people, all right? But also understand something. Matter of fact, I'm going to address that when I get to that point. All right, so this is another article telling you that what Naia looked like. Even though we can sit here and see what she looked like, even though this is what she looks like, okay? I mean, they probably made it look a little goofier than what it was, but this is what they said. This is researchers and anthropologists and paleontologists, okay? I'm not nowhere in the class with them people. I'm just a person making YouTube videos who made an observation, who's trying to get through a conclusion through the scientific method. All right, so conclusion, it's observation, hypothesis, theory, scientific method. I don't have to do a scientific method. They already did it. Anthropologists did it, all right? The observation of the pictures that we seen, the people in Virginia don't look nothing like these Native Americans. Then the theory that we came up, well, black people and Native Americans, some was slaves. Then just to find out that the ones they addressing as slaves, Indians were slaves at the same time that African was sold to be slaves and was sold to the Caribbean. But you do not see no Native Americans in the Caribbean, okay? Let's keep it moving. All right? Hold up. Let me make sure. Oh, just bear with me. I'm looking for something. Hey, hold up. Alright, okay, this is it right here. Bet. Alright, so this is the article from the New York Times. It's called Ancient Skull Challenges Long Held Theories. Okay? So now, this is about Luzier. You check the article out and read it yourself. I'm just going to be reading a couple of different passages. It says skull is that of a woman nicknamed Luzia. It said who is believed to have roamed the savannah south central Brazil some 11,500 years ago. Even more startling, the reconstruction of her cranium undertook in Britain this year indicates that her features appear to be negroid rather than mongoloid, suggesting that the Western Hemisphere may have initially been settled not only earlier than thought, but by people distincted from the ancestors of today North and South Americans. All right, this is another anthropologist. All right, this is Dr. Walter Needs. Okay, it say, let me keep it moving. All right, let me read some more of this. It said we can no longer say that the first colonizers of America came from North America. It said as previous model have proposed, and Dr. Walter Needs, an anthropologist at the University of Sao Paulo, it said who had made the initial discovery along with the Argentine colleague Hector, whatever his last name. This skeleton is nearly 2,000 years older than any other skeleton found in America and does not look like any Indian or North Asian. Okay, it's telling you right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna read this other part right here, then I'm gonna move on to the next one. Yeah, man, the more you do research on this, the more it become apparent, man, that, you know what I'm saying, it's not even just they don't want you to know. It's like, it's crazy. Like, you read this stuff and then you start seeing, like, first it was just the pictures, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then I started really reading, and like, and it's a lot of things that just don't make sense, but now I know why. All right, so hold on, let me just look and make sure. And think of something. Alright, but anyway, I'm not going to go no further. He already told you Luzia looked like a negroid. That's the second one. Luzia was found in Brazil. Um, Dr. Needs found Luzia. Dr. Chatters, James Chatters, he's the one who found Naia. Now we're going to get into Richard Jantz, another anthropologist. So far, that's three anthropologists, all right, that found found findings and skeleton remains in Central, I believe that's Central. No, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, all right, okay. Central America, which is Mexico and Brazil. All right, now we're gonna find one who found findings in Idaho. All right. So yeah, this is Wikipedia, but at this point in time, we should be able to use Wikipedia and overstand it for what it is. All right. At this point in time, people who do research can, like I said, you take out what applies and what sounds reasonable. Okay, what these people say. I'm not doing no scientific work. They're doing it. Okay, so it's a Burla. I guess that's how you pronounce it. It says the name of the skeleton of prehistoric Paleo Indian. And if we say Paleo Indian, it's a woman found in the quarry near Boyle, Idaho. Sorry. It say in January 1989. All right, so it tells you skeleton average has been estimated radiocarbon dating at 10,675 years. Okay, now this is, remember, Naia was like supposed to be from 12 to 13,000, and Luzia was supposed to be like 11,000. All right, so this one was found in Idaho. So let's see what the anthropologist saying what she looked like. All right, let me see. All right, here we go. It's in this class, right? So no genetic testing was done. It's saying there is a disagreement concerning the anthropologist of the skull, morphology, whatever of the skull. Sorry, anthropologist Todd Fenton. So this is one anthropologist, Todd Fenton of Michigan State University, has indicated that the skulls is similar to that of American Indians and East Asians. All right, so he's saying that they look like Indians. All right, so now the population, while according to anthropologist Richard Jantz of University of Tennessee, she does not fit into any modern group, but is similar to today's Polynesians. Okay, that's one article that says that. That's just Wikipedia. I'm gonna go to another, source it up with something else. Okay, this is just a regular site right here. Message to, it says, let me just give you guys the article. Alright, this is message to the eagle.com. Alright. This is talking about the bald woman again in Idaho. I'm just looking for the part where he said, where he gave the description of what she looked like. Alright. That's right here. It said, according to anthropologist Richard Jantz of the University of Tennessee, it said the broad woman did not fit into the modern group, but was similar to today's Polynesian. 25 teeth were found, whatever. So it says to today's Polynesian. The other one says Pacific Island, African and Pacific Island. All right. So boom. So look, let's look up Polynesian. All right. So this is a Polynesian brother right here. All right. So just in case, if you want to see, let me take out the Afro, put regular Polynesian. We're going to put regular Polynesian in. And now this is the funny thing, right? If you look at these people, they look like Native American. All right. So the funny thing is, how are these people distinctly different from Koreans? Well, period, Native Americans. I don't even need to pull them up for me to cross-reference these people. Now she can be black mixed with Asian, but some of these other people look like just regular Native Americans. All right. Let me see. You see these people right here? These people look Asian, okay? Wouldn't you say that these people look somewhat similar to what we consider Native Americans to be? Okay? Now, this is the white Polynesians, whatever. I mean, some of them are the ones that's identifiable. All right, there's some more of them. Now, what would you see? If you seen this brother in America, what would you think he was? You think he was Spanish? You think he was Spanish? Well, you think he was Spanish too? All right? Let me check out some more. I just want y'all to see this. So y'all don't think I'm biased, okay? Now look. Now here go some brothers that look like Negro. Now, is this the image of the Polynesian feature that they found? You say Fuji Warrior. Now look at this. All right, now look, let's go to this. All right, that's enough. We already seen what the other Polynesians look like. So the Afro, black, put that in. Boom. All right, now look at these people right here. Look at this brother right here. Look at this brother. This brother get a shape up, cut, brother, and he got tats on his face like these jokers be wearing out here. Look just like American Negro, okay? It ain't no need to even go no further. Let me see if this is a Polynesian. No, that's something else. That's African American, Latino. But you see the difference. Now look, Polynesian style. This don't look like your aunt. Let me see this chick. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that ain't what I was looking for. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Let me see this. Samoan, black Samoan. Now look at her. Look at her. You understand? You understand? Now what I'm trying to show you is that the original people say, now look, let me see. Now this guy's a Polynesian, right? This guy playing Aquaman. He's supposed to be a Polynesian, right? Now I just showed you. Let me see. Okay. Now look. These are Fijians. Look at these people. Look at these people. Look at these people. The oldest surfer. Look at these people. But they all related. All this is like the Polynesian island or whatever. So, I'm just showing y'all some like what they said Polynesian. Now we know if they was trying, if he's telling you this, now let me go back to this one. Let me go back to this one right here. All right, so I said, according to anthropologist Richard Jan of the University of Tennessee, the Boer woman did not fit into the modern group of what, but was more similar to today's Polynesian. Okay, now, like I said, man, use your brain. If the regular Polynesians that they showing you look like Asian, look like Native Americans. All right, so just think of this. The regular Polynesians, until I put in black Afro-Polynesians, already look like Native Americans. So if they found something that resembles them, they would have already said it. Obviously, it resembles one of these people right here. Now, let me see something. Well, let's go. Let me see. So we know South Pacific. That's the South Pacific. See, these people look just like Negroes. Look. Look. She got little Asian features, but she look just like a Negro. Just like a Negro. You can't tell me she don't look like a Negro. Alright? Now we already see this. Now let me see. Pacific Ocean. Oh no, sorry. I ain't even clicking that. Islanders. You tell me. They telling you that the people look like Pacific Islanders, Polynesians, okay? And then I click on this, and then the Polynesians look like African Americans. Well, yet they want you to believe that something else. Now, these are people in Australia, okay? Now, look, man. Look, man. You guys don't understand what's going on by this time. Now, look. I got some additional information right here. And this is from... Excuse me. Alright, this is De Soto Chronicles, volume 1 and 2, the expedition of Hernando de Soto. Alright, so you guys check this out. I'm gonna be reading through a little bit of it. Let me see if I can find that page. Alright, here we go, right here. It says, concerning the battle that the Spanish fought with the Indians of the coast. Alright, now look, check it out. Let me take this off. It said, as we said, the Spanish spent 3 days in repairing their caravan and in recovering their own strength, their chief need being for sleep, as they were fatigued. On the last day, afternoon, they saw 7 canoes emerge from among some rushes and come towards them. I don't know, that shit sounds weird. And come towards them. It said the first one came an Indian as large as a Philistine. Okay, what did they say Philistines look like? Okay, and as black as an Ethiopian. Okay, need I repeat anymore? It's a very different in color and appearance from those that they had left in the interior. They say the reason why the coastal Indians are so black is because they constantly go about in salty water fishing. They say because of the whatever they say of the country, they depend upon fishing for their substance. They say the heat of the sun also helps them to make them black. Okay. Now this is Hernando de Soto. All right. This is page starts with concerning the battle. Whatever you guys see it. All right. Like I said, this is the book that it's from. All right. Let me keep it moving, man. I want to try to hurry up and get this video out. All right. So let me see something. All right. So let me run through this real quick right here. Give me a second, people. Alright, you know what? I'm going to make a part 2. I'm going to start it off right here on this page. And this got genetically sequences and all that. I'm going to go on this page and I'm going to come back to what I reviewed. Alright? So hopefully this one was interesting. I'm going to make a part 2 to this one. Alright? With that being said, I'm going to touch this one. Peace.